are excited, so we're anxious to get going.
Coaches plan when to take these trips. Do they kind of have an eye on sort of strategically, like thinking about your roster makeup, or were you just like, let's just do it as soon as we
No, it's something that was strategic. I didn't think when I got the job last summer we were eligible, but I didn't think that was a good time just because I didn't know who we would have on the team. I didn't know what our roster was, but we knew that this would be a big class, and I felt like that this would be a good time for us with having a new class, a big class, and then with our freshmen becoming sophomores and relying on them even more than we did last year. We figured this would be a really good time for our program to do this.
Obviously, Jeff, there are far worse places to spend 9 days. But I mean, what do you feel like teams and coaches? What do you guys get out of these trips? What are the biggest benefits that come with them?
Well, obviously team building, team bonding, trying to become a team, those things. But to me, it gives us an opportunity as a coaching staff to see if, okay, the things that with our returning guys that we've tried to work on since April, where are we with those things? Like how can we incorporate those into real live game situations? With our new guys, since they've been here, the things that we've been working individually with them on, how does that fit? What does the team look like right now? Who are we right now? And what are the strengths? What are the things we're not so good at? And then when we get back, we have a chance to reevaluate that, to evaluate where we are in that moment after playing 3 games, after traveling, in a different country, being together, going through that experience. And then when we get back, we'll start to adjust from there. We'll get back to individual stuff and doing things and trying to improve in every area, and then get ready for the start of practice in September.
How many more extra practices are you allowed, and how important is that to have those extra practices?
We get 10 practices. We get 10 days of practice, and we just finished our 8th one today. And so we'll do one tomorrow. We'll do one on Sunday, and then we'll travel over.
How do you actually beyond what you wouldn't be able to do that if you weren't going overseas, right?
No. In a normal summer, we get, as coaches, we get 4 hours a week with them. And so when we declare weeks for practice, then that 4 hours goes up to one. So we can still do individual work. We can still do some things like that as well.
How do you determine your opponents over there, and how does all that?
Travel company. The travel company did that for us. They helped us with that.
I'm assuming you've done trips like this in the past. Where are some places that you've been, and kind of what have you seen as far as maybe like off-court bonding, things like that?
There's only been one that I've done that's been in the summer like this, and that was my first year back at Duke, where we did a trip in the summer, towards the end of the summer, into the second session of summer school. When I was the head coach of ECU and head coach at Oklahoma, we did a trip. We did trips, but they were over like a fall break. So it wasn't as long, it wasn't as far. And so it was a little bit quicker. You had been in school, you had gone through the whole summer, and you did it then. And so this is my second time doing one in the summer. And so it is different just because you're not used to practicing in the summer. The summers, they're intense, but they're not as intense as they are right now when you're practicing and you're trying to get prepared to play a game.
Where did you go with VCU and Oklahoma?
At VCU, we went to England. One of my better players that we signed when I got there was from Manchester, England. We recruited him. I told him I'd get him home, so we took a foreign tour to London and played, I think, 2 games over there in different cities. When I was at Oklahoma, we went to Vancouver, and we did that over, I think it was over fall break. Maybe it was over Labor Day weekend, but we did that.
Who was the player from VCU?
His name was Nick George.
With all the new faces you guys have right now in this point of the summer, how important is it to be playing against someone that's not yourself, that's not your own team?
That's one of the great things about this trip, is you get a chance to actually have competition in the summer, and you get to break it up because it's not just players get tired of playing against each other. You want to have a chance to go against someone else. For us, it gives us a chance to see, for our new guys, like how long can they play before they get tired. What are the rotations like? What you know, if a guy coming off the bench, a guy starting, like how does he react to those different things? How do you react to a whistle? Not just our coaching whistles in practice, but officials. You know, how do you react? You know, what do you do when someone's really coming after you, like the opponents? But we're going to be playing against men over there. These won't be college teams. These will be, you know, grown men. And so it'll give us chances to see all these different things.
You ever been, Italy?
I've never been, so I'm excited.
What are you looking forward to off the court the most?
I'm looking forward just to seeing the history. It's a country I've always wanted to go to. And so to have a chance to do that, the history, the food, the wine, you know, but just seeing all these different things that I've heard about from so many people that have been over there.
Can you appreciate kind of the opportunity that this allows some of your players who maybe wouldn't get an opportunity like this otherwise?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the great things about this trip is it affords the majority of our guys have never been out of the country. And so to have a chance to do that together as a team, to do that where they don't have to pay for it, where it's with our team, and to get the experiences that we'll you know, have a chance to go through over there with seeing the different sites and seeing the culture and seeing a different country and playing different rules and all those things.
What are some of the early impressions that you have of this team so far, Jeff? It's obviously very early.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've worked hard. You know, I think the returning guys, I think they've improved. You know, the new guys give us a little bit more quality depth, I think. But, you know, we're still trying to figure it all out. We're still trying to figure out roles right now. Who are we right now, and what groups fit together well right now, and what each other's strengths are, and you know, how do we minimize weakness? How do we build our communication? How do we build our trust? How do we do all those things? And so I think each guy at different points has had moments where they've looked good. It's just a matter of how do we mesh it all together where we look good.
Do you think you'll be able to use your freshman class as frequently as you used last year's freshman
Well,
class?
yeah. I mean, we need those guys ready to play and to be able to step up. I mean, we have 4 guys returning that will be able to play, especially early, because we're not sure when or if Kenna will be back. Obviously, we're hoping that he will be. If he is, it'll be sometime probably in January. And so, you know, with that, you know, you have 4 guys that are returning, and so we're going to need these new guys to be able to step in and help us.
What has
Can it
stood
make
out?
them true?
Yes.
Okay.
What has stood out about those newcomers that you mentioned?
Well, I mean, they've had great attitudes. You know, they have length. They, you know, give us a little bit different athleticism. You know, when they're making shots, you know, obviously that, you know, it makes everyone look better. But just their willingness to try to understand what it is that we want from them, and then to go out and do it. The other thing that helps is, you know, we have 4 guys with Xavier, Trey, Audis, and Terrell that know me, that know us, that know our staff, and so they have an idea of what we want as coaches, and so they're able to help us. Where last year it was new for everyone, even my staff, they were new for me, and so what exactly we were trying to accomplish, it was new for everyone, and so that's been better this year to have a group back that understands what we're trying to do, and so they're able to assist in the teaching process.
Yeah, well, what did Kareem's experience playing in the FIBA World Cup? You know, again, it's obviously very early, within a few weeks here, but what did that seem to do for him from what you've seen so far?
Well, obviously he had an amazing experience for their country. You know, what they were able to accomplish was really special, and it was really fun to watch and to, from afar, to experience that with Corrine, and the pride that they had in representing their country and doing something that no one has ever done in any of the African countries. And obviously he played very well over there, you know, for his team. You know, to be honest with you, I think he's a little bit tired. You know, when he got back here, he got back and kind of jumped right into it. And so I think physically, but also emotionally, when you go through something like that, and it's very emotional because you exert, when you represent your country, you know, you exert so much energy and just the emotional factor. And so we've tried to ease him in a little bit, you know, bit by bit, and try to increase his workload, but to understand that his head's probably spinning a little bit right now, trying to figure all this stuff out.
Well, watching those games, Jeff, I mean, did you see a guy there, you know, who you kind of thought thought to yourself, okay, this is somebody that even though he's a freshman, I can use him right away, and he can be a nice piece for us?
Well, we thought that when we recruited him. So we thought that when he committed, obviously he signed late, but he committed early. We thought that during the recruiting process, and watching him over in Greece just kind of reinforced that even more for us.
As a four, excuse me, as a four mostly for him?
He'll play both spots.
Is there still a possibility of adding to this 2019 recruiting
No.
class going into the season?
We had talked about some of your early impressions of this team so far, Jeff. I mean, how much more do you think that you'll know about this group in 2 weeks, once y'all have gone through the tour?
Yeah, I think we'll know a lot. Again, just to see us in live competition against someone else. When, these practices, we've put a little bit in, not a lot. But we've tried to be really good, but become really good at a few things. One of the things that's challenging in practice, it's human nature. The defense knows what you're running, so they start cheating the plays. And so it can make it a little bit raggedy at times. And so it'll be good to get against someone else and to see how we react there. And I anticipate us, at the return of this trip, having a better feel of who we are right now, what maybe are some of our strengths at this moment, how do we improve on those, and then what are the overall improvements we need to make.
You all obviously got a big transfer about a month ago, I guess. Is Horton on campus yet? Or
Yeah,
what
he's
y'all
here.
expect? Okay.
He's here.
Is he making the trip?
He's making the trip, yeah.
Everybody's going?
Everyone but Samson. Samson George.
He'll be part of the team this year?
Yeah, he'll be part of the team. He's not going on the trip. Afraid he can't get back in the country. So, unfortunately, we have to deal with that. All right.